Please, for the love of God, get up and dance.
It's all coming together.
Delightful little pasty.
Amazing Technicolor Shitshow. Hello and welcome. This is Amazing Technicolor Shitshow, where we explore the fumbles and follies of live theater. My name is Elle.
And I'm Trev.
And today we're going to be talking a little bit about the megamix.
The megamix.
The megamix.
The M&M trail mix.
The megamix.
The megamix.
The concept of a megamix. But I guess real quick before we get into that, quick recap. If you're listening to this through a podcast app or something like that, that's great. We love that journey for you. If you decide you want to also see our faces, we're also here in the green room.
On YouTube.
YouTube. And so if
listen with your eyes.
Yeah, if you want to listen with your eyes, you're welcome to it. No pressure, obviously. Feel free to keep listening via the pod if that's how you like to do it. But just that's another service we're offering.
And you may notice that the lighting is a speck better than it used to be.
Yeah.
And it will continue to get better and better.
Yeah.
As I learn more about how to do this.
We are obviously continuing to work on figuring out how to do a video style podcast. So
come along with us.
Yeah, come along with us in the journey, and hopefully we'll get better. And eventually we'll get our stuff back up on our walls, which we had to take down for.
Yeah, we're kind of in a dark
painting and setup.
Green room. It's a green room, which is very exciting.
But it's looking a little drab, but we'll get some stuff up on the walls and things.
No room that you're in looks drab.
Oh.
Yes, the megamix though.
So the megamix.
The megamix. Tell me, what megamixes come to mind in the terms of musicals?
So I did recently choreograph a production of Mamma Mia, which has a great megamix in it. A lot of fun. Some of the best numbers, of the show come back at the end.
Really, it's the quintessential example of a megamix. And for those who aren't musical theater heads, a megamix is what's commonly referred to is how we commonly refer to the part of the show at the end after you've already applauded for the show.
Yeah.
When everybody comes back on stage and sings a few more songs.
Yeah.
And the audience is encouraged to get up and dance.
I think the other one that comes to mind is Joseph has a big one.
Joseph, obviously, yes.
Yeah.
That's a big one. Yes, ding.
Yep.
Those are the two of the three.
I don't know if technically it's a mega mix because of the setup, but the way that the show 6 works.
Yeah, that's the third one that I was thinking. Ding.
Yeah,
that's the third one that I was thinking of.
I guess it's a little bit different because usually the mega mix is like we wrap up the whole plot, everything's in a tidy, neat little bow.
Yes.
And then we come back out and we sing more. And, it's usually the songs you've already heard, obviously, because it's the end of the show, but we do them again.
Mm-hmm.
But for 6, the mega mix is kind of like part of wrapping up the show.
Yeah. That's true.
So it's a little bit maybe not the same, but
there's a gray area between whether or not it comes before or after the final applause. But
I suppose
the song in 6 is called Mega 6.
Yeah.
So it's directly riffing on the mega mix, if anything.
Totally. Okay. Cool. So those were the 3 that you were thinking of immediately.
Right.
That's great. Well, we also have a similar list of shows that we know and are familiar with. So I'm sure there's tons of shows that just don't come to mind right offhand.
Yeah.
But there's probably a ton of shows that have this mega mix kind of idea at the end. Mm-hmm.
But so one of the things that made me think about megamixes was that when we were doing the SpongeBob musical, there was no megamix at the end, and I thought I didn't necessarily want there to be one, but I thought it was odd that there wasn't one. And that made me realize that they've kind of gone out of style overall.
Yeah.
They still are definitely done.
Yeah.
But it's less common than it was in the 90s and thousands and 2010s.
Yeah.
And so I was interested in why that is.
Mm-hmm.
Places.
Thank you,
places.
So first of all, let's get on the same page for anyone who's looking for some clarity. Megamix is, of course, not a term specific to musical theater. What most people, normal people, would think of as a megamix is a mashup, a remix of multiple songs that you'd hear at a wedding or a dance. We're not necessarily in the realm of music theory, like musically defining what a megamix is. Mm-hmm. It's not a musical thing, it's a psychology thing.
Okay.
A megamix is what you play to get people dancing. And
Oh.
so if people hear songs that they've heard before and they recognize and they love already, one after another with no time to pause in between, they're going to keep on dancing. And so as a DJ,
Yeah.
you want them to keep on going.
Because they don't have time to stop dancing.
Yes.
You just go right into the next one.
We
You
flow
just
fast enough that if you didn't want to dance to the first song, you might want to dance to the second one. It keeps the energy alive.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So for that reason, you wouldn't necessarily compose a mega mix of original music. You would do the hits.
Yeah.
Still, this is nothing new. Calling it a mega mix is very digital age. But if we call it a medley, which is
yeah.
what it is, then it's easy to recognize that this is a centuries-old practice at least.
Also, we're not just talking about mega mixes, we're talking about medleys.
This is
Oh my goodness.
Well, we'll get back around to mega mixes.
Okay,
but
okay.
A mega mix is a medley. That's
Yeah.
just what it is.
And it's just like a medley where they're specifically like, you better get up and dance.
Please,
Yeah.
please, for the love of God, get
Yeah.
up and dance. There's a little bit of desperation in a mega mix, which
yeah.
I think is important to
Okay, I think that's the thing about Joseph. It's a little bit. The Joseph megamix is a little desperate.
You're so right.
Yeah.
You're so right. You're factually right. We'll get there. So in the heyday of opera, in the 1700s and 1800s, you could hear ballad operas or pasticcios, large works that combined music from various other existing operas into a new work.
Mhm.
They were often dismissed as pandering sort of cash grabs at the time, but there are pasticcios written by famous composers like Handel and Gluck that sort of legitimized the form to an extent.
So almost like a jukebox musical.
We'll get there.
Oh, okay.
You see where I'm going.
It's a jukebox opera.
It's a jukebox opera.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
It takes no stretch at all to think of these pasticcios as early ancestors, at least, of this jukebox musical.
Yeah, totally.
Where a musical story would be written to fit hits from some
Handel's
bygone era.
greatest.
Yeah. Handel's great. I mean, exactly. That's what it would have been. And do you know, Elle, why we called it a pasticcio?
Pastiche?
Pastiche came later.
Oh,
Both of
pastiche
them
is...
have the same
So you're
root
going
word.
to explain this commonly
I am.
used idiom.
This is yet another example
Yeah.
of Trev explaining the theatrical origins of a word that we use today.
Yeah, I know how you love to do that.
I know how I love to do that.
Okay, so tell me.
In this case, it'll come as no surprise once you think about the word pastiche or pasticcio. The composer of a pasticcio threw all sorts of existing works into the musical pan as if they were filling a delicious musical pie.
Oh.
It's a pie. It's a
Oh.
filled pie. A pastiche.
Oh,
Pasticcio.
yeah. They're putting all the fillings in the pie.
Yeah.
They're saying, well, we already have these blueberries and we already have these raspberries, so I guess we'll just put them in
Just
this
put
pie.
it in the pie. Yeah.
That's cute.
And there's no pie on its own. It's either a pecan pie or a meat pie.
Yeah.
It's based on what it's.
There's no just
what you
plain
chuck in there.
pie. You
Totally.
gotta stick something in the pie.
Pie.
Oh, okay. Cool. So a pastiche is a pie. Love that.
Yeah.
Oh, like a pasty.
Yeah.
Oh, why
sorry.
not?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Once you
Yeah,
think
yeah,
about
yeah.
the word, it makes a lot of sense.
Of course. Okay. Cool. Wow.
Totally.
It's all
It's
coming together.
The whole pie is getting rolled into the oven
Yeah.
for baby and me.
There's a meat pies and
The sweet pies, positively great pies. Yes, but the pastiche, as copyright conventions started to become harsher on composers, pasticcios started to go out of fashion because you can't make money off of someone else's work.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's when the pastiche comes in. Unlike the pasticcio, which utilized existing music, the pastiche created original songs in the style of some other kind of music or some other
Oh.
artist.
So they were like, this isn't a song that Handel wrote, but doesn't it sound a lot like Handel?
Yes, right. And
Yeah,
so
like
to
everyone,
this day,
everyone is just crazy about Handel right now. We're gonna do exactly what we know they're gonna
has
love.
anyone ever
Yeah.
been crazy about Handel?
Yeah, they were really crazy about Handel back then.
I guess that's probably true. I didn't take music history.
Yeah, clearly.
Clearly. Somebody didn't take music history.
This guy over here dissing Handel like some kind of peasant.
Are you going to stand up for Handel right now?
I mean, I have a music degree. I feel like I can't not.
Oh.
I gotta be a little bit. I gotta be a little bit
I don't
posh.
have never mind. I've been thinking of Wagner. Wagner is the one that
Oh,
everybody
we'll
loves
diss
to
him.
hate.
Yeah, everybody loves to hate
Oh
Wagner.
my gosh, I'm so sorry to Handel and
Yeah.
everybody who loves Handel. Wagner is the one that everybody likes to dunk on.
Also, Wagner was a bad person, arguably.
Okay.
I
Good to
mean,
know.
not just arguably, like yeah.
Okay.
So we can dunk on him.
Okay. Eat it.
Yeah,
Eat it, Wagner.
yeah.
All right. We're not talking about Wagner though. We're talking about pastiche.
Also, I hope the family of Wagner doesn't come at me.
Yeah, please don't sue us,
Don't
family
sue
of
us.
Wagner.
We have nothing, so joke's on you.
We're in an empty green room. But yeah, the pastiche. You get it. That's how we use the term today.
Yeah.
To imitate the style without directly copying the
Yeah.
work.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, back to our musical hot pies. Pasticcios went out of favor, but the mashing up of recognizable songs did not. In fact, it's around the 1800s when we start to see opera with something very similar to a modern musical megamix. A modern musical megamix. Mozart does it in The Marriage of Figaro. At the end, all the character motifs come back, and everyone's interrupting each other and both furthering their own journey and reminding the audience who they actually are as the story comes to a conclusion. This was very common in opera at the time, and some modern audiences might also understand this based on what we know of Gilbert and Sullivan, which has sort of stuck around in the pop culture for long enough for us to use it as a cultural reference.
Mm-hmm.
The way in the end of Gilbert and Sullivan operettas where everybody comes back and they sing the little piece of the song that they used to sing earlier in the show, that's how things used to be in opera of that time and operettas of that time.
Yeah. And that people still very much do that today. Like you'll have, in modern musicals, you'll have that happen. Like there's a scene in Les Mis where everybody is singing their song. That's their song that they do, and they do a little clip from it, and then another person does a little clip from their song, and then they all overlap.
Yes, One Day More at the end of Act 1 is not technically a megamix.
Yeah.
In the definition that we're using, because it's not at the end of a show, it's not combined with the applause, but it is absolutely a megamix in the style of mashing up songs from earlier.
Exactly.
There's another similar one at the end of Act 1 of Hamilton.
Mm-hmm. I know you love that when all the different people sing their songs all at the same time. I know you really, that's like, it really hits hard for you. You're like, they're all singing their songs at the same time.
The way to my heart is person A sings one thing, then person B sings something else, and then they sing them together
at the same time.
Every time it happens, I'm like, it's so exciting every time. I love it.
It's very cute.
And this is where we come back to the talk of DJs and dance parties, because the ending medleys of these operettas, these Gilbert and Sullivan operettas and all the other operettas like them, they became sort of greatest hits samplers from the show. And this tradition would continue in force all through the early 20th century, when musicals would often end with reprises of airs you have heard tonight after you're done. It's like, and here's the best hits from the show.
Yeah.
They just did that.
Airs you've heard tonight.
Airs you heard tonight.
I love it.
Where stars got one last moment to shine, and the audience got to hear all their favorites again.
That's cute.
And Golden Age Broadway shows like Oklahoma and My Fair Lady would have similar ending hurrahs.
Mm-hmm.
But there's one more leap to be made before we get to a megamix like Joseph or Mamma Mia. And I think Mamma Mia is the key. A megamix is a dance party.
Yeah.
Why did we start ending musicals with dance parties?
I'm sorry, why haven't all musicals ended in dance parties? Is I think the question you should be answering here, because I really think every musical could end in a dance party, and I'd be fine with that.
Well, I think you have to thank for that Andrew Lloyd Webber and his laziness.
Oh, okay, I love that for him.
See, Joseph actually didn't have a megamix at the end originally, but as it was transferring from off-Broadway to on-Broadway in 1982, the team was looking to make it longer, as audiences had complained it was too short, and Andrew Lloyd Webber, bless his heart, refused to write any new material for the show.
Fair. He was busy. He had a lot of stuff going on. I really don't fault him. He's a busy fella.
So right before the first Broadway preview, they cobbled together the megamix. They hadn't called it that at the time, but that's what it was. Mm-hmm. And soon the audience of the Royale Theatre was on their feet for a review of 8 different songs from the musical that they were already clapping for. And they loved it. It was a very modern vibe, just like the rest of Joseph, with very much a dance party vibe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know exactly if they were encouraged to stand up, but I assume it's Broadway in the 80s. They probably stood up. Many audiences probably stood up.
Probably.
This medley was officially renamed to become the Megamix for the 1993 revival, making it the first official Megamix on Broadway.
Mm-hmm.
The 1990s also gave us a Megamix in the UK revival of Little Shop, also Starlight Express, and the rest is history, especially as it turns out for jukebox musicals, which turns this story in a funny kind of circular direction because the Megamix and the jukebox musical sort of have the same roots, as I've explained before. But now, jukebox musicals are absolutely the most likely place where you would hear a Megamix.
Yeah. And also you can throw in songs that you didn't hear because they didn't necessarily fit into the plot.
Totally.
Like with Mamma Mia,
That's
they throw
exactly
in
what-
Waterloo, which is a great jam. I love the song Waterloo. It's not in the musical at all, but they can throw it in the Megamix in the middle of it because it's like, oh, we didn't get to this one yet, but I bet this is one you like.
Yeah, that's so true.
I bet you're going to like this one. Yeah.
Now for something completely different. It's a song that didn't fit into the musical, but you want to hear.
Yeah.
And yeah, the audiences love it. But outside of televised spectacles, like when that Grease on-air
Live.
Grease live revival happened, they put a Megamix at the end.
Yeah.
So outside of big stunts like that, the quantity of Megamixes have been going down on Broadway specifically. And one notable exception, though, is Six, with its last song, Mega Six. But two caveats there. First of all, it's a very short musical that sort of needs the Megamix in order to be long enough.
It does, and it doesn't even have an intermission. Six
Yeah.
goes straight through. Granted, I could have watched it and had it be twice as long, and I would have just loved it. I'm
So true.
obsessed with that show. But yeah, I mean, it is short, and it really makes sense to have them all go again. And also, each of the queens really only gets their one solo, plus they all sing together and they sing back up on each other's. So it makes sense for them all to have like
gives them
an
more to
extra
do.
little something to do at the end
Yeah.
to kind of feature all of them all in a row again.
Totally. But I think that the more important reason why Six has a Megamix, I don't know. In my own head, this makes sense. But Six is itself a pastiche.
Oh, yeah. That's sort of exactly what a pastiche is.
Yeah. A lot of the songs are directly imitating the style of the 1990s and 2000s, and that just happens to be the era in which Megamixes were super common.
And actually, I mean, it's a pastiche in every sense of the word because each of the queens is sort of in the style of a famous, like, pop artist. So it's kind of all around a pastiche, and that's kind of like its whole bag. Really,
that's its whole bag.
Yeah, that makes
so
perfect
if you're
sense.
gonna do 90s thousands, you should end with a Megamix.
Yeah, you kind of have to. That tracks.
It's like at the end of Shrek when they have a dance party for no reason.
Yeah.
And then every animated movie for the next 10 years had dance parties at the end.
Yes.
This is what we're going for.
Yeah.
But
there's a lot of like live action movies too from like the 90s that just
Right.
sort of inexplicably end with a dance party.
I heard an interview with Ben Stiller who said when he was being cast for Night at the Museum that he said, "Yes, I will do it as long as we don't end with a dance party." And then it was eventually overruled because there is a dance party.
There is a dance party
at the
in
end
it.
of Night at the Museum.
Yeah.
What a good movie.
That is a really good movie.
That would be a good musical.
Yeah.
Huh.
That would be a really good musical.
Huh. Anyway, forget that thought.
Nah.
Nobody write that.
TM.
Musical writers nowadays are looking for more subtle and mature ways to end their shows.
That's fair. The Megamix is a little cheap.
Yes. I've
I
seen some
wouldn't-
people gripe that a Megamix
Yeah.
is just a way to get people to give you a standing ovation
Yeah.
and applaud longer
Yeah.
and go away feeling like they had a good time.
Yeah.
So,
A little cheap, yes. But do
think-
I also love a dance party? Yes.
yeah, I think if it works, it works.
Yeah.
And I don't see anything really wrong with that. But I can also see the artiste having an issue with it. Maybe.
I definitely understand both ways too. I'd agree with that. Well, that was some good research there, Trev. I
Thank
think
you.
I think it's time for a listener story for today.
Lovely.
This listener says, I was directing a high school production, and it was the night of our second show. Often with high school shows, I've found that there's a second show slump. So usually I say something to my casts along the lines of, now don't let the energy drag, etc. But this time I did not, because there were some other members of the production team who didn't really agree with my views on the subject. So I didn't say anything. So it's the second show. We get to intermission. At the end of Act 1, there was a haze machine for a spooky effect. For this particular show, I also had to step into the pit as the piano player at the last second, but that's a story for another time. So, an intermission, I'm in the pit, and someone tells me, the fire department is here. Apparently, the haze machine had triggered a building alarm to the fire department, but alarms weren't going off inside the theater at all, thank goodness. Now, this had never happened before, and we'd used haze the year prior and for previous rehearsals and opening night. But this time, something was different for some reason. So, the fire department turned off their alarm, and we were able to go on with Act 2 after intermission. I know you had a similar, you've had issues with...
I did indeed trigger an audience exodus.
Yes.
But again, yeah, it worked. It worked. And then one day the drafts were different and it didn't. Yeah.
So anyway, for this particular situation, the fire department shows up during intermission. So it's already intermission. So nothing's been interrupted with the show. And so the audience did not have to leave.
Nice.
So now it's the beginning of Act 2. There's a student who comes on stage for a solo, and she had been kind of notorious for having mic problems. Not her fault at all, but we'd been dealing with mic issues for her during the run.
Some people are just cursed.
Cracking, popping, that sort of thing. Yes, totally. Some people just feel like they're cursed when it comes to like, oh, for some reason, every time you put a mic on this person, it's going to die, right? So anyway, mic's cracking and popping. She gets on stage. We don't hear her at all. We're thinking... maybe her batteries just died at intermission or something. So we're in the pit. We're trying to stay with her, but it's getting really difficult because we can't hear her at all. So the curtain goes up on the next scene, and we realize we can't hear anybody from the pit.
Oh, no.
None of the microphones are working.
Oh, no.
The kids were trying hard to project the best they could, but we were struggling so much to hear them that it was getting pretty rocky. We couldn't hear them at all, but they could hear us way too loudly, but not each other.
Yeah.
So they couldn't hear each other. So this goes on for a little while, and I decided that I simply needed to do something. So I ran up from our pit and dragged a piano from backstage onto the very edge of the stage where I could see them and hear them, and they could see me, and I could also see the conductor in the pit. So I played and was able to sort of nod and bridge the gap between the pit and the vocalists.
Smart. I love that.
Right? Very smart. Then, in the middle of the act, miraculously, the sound system goes back on.
Okay.
So apparently what had happened was that the alarm triggered, and we didn't realize that there was a security feature in the soundboard that completely shuts off all the sound. So the sound guy was trying to figure it out. The superintendent went back there trying to help. Another person with some theater tech experience was back there too trying to help. Sound guy kind of had to tell them all.
Is anyone here a technician?
Right. The sound guy kind of had to tell them to back off because there was just too many hands in the cookie jar.
Yes.
And it wasn't really helping. But eventually he figured it out that it was due to the security system, and he figured out how to fix it. So they got the sound back on. We were able to finish the show pretty normally after that. But after the show was done, we had some really freaked out students. And they were self-conscious about how they did when they were trying to be heard over the pit.
Yeah.
And they are kids after all.
Yeah,
they're young people. So that's a lot to, have happened to them.
Yes.
But they really were forced to project and adapt. And this listener says, I was really proud of them for that.
Yeah.
So it was a real nightmare, but it ended up being a big teaching moment for those kids about how important it is to project and stay focused.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah. This listener goes on to say, I did go home and cry my eyes out after that. Obviously, it was a really stressful night.
Yeah.
And it came after a long and tough rehearsal process from a director perspective.
I'm sure a lot of the high school kids also went home and cried.
Yes. Sometimes it's really hard, but we adapt, we do our best, we get creative, and the show must go on.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So many things going on. And It's so hard. I just have so much empathy for the high school students in that situation
Yeah.
because that's really hard when that happens, when
Yeah.
something that you've been leaning on
Yeah.
technology-wise
Yeah.
and has worked every time
Yep.
all of a sudden isn't there.
And you work on it for months.
Yeah.
And
right.
also when you're that age, you're so much more self-conscious about everything.
Yeah.
So if you're
Oh my
thinking like,
gosh.
oh, I was straining too loud to sing and maybe
Yeah.
I didn't sound good. And, you overthink everything when you're middle
Yeah.
school, high school age. That's a particularly hard time to be alive.
It's just a
Once
hard
you-
time to be.
It's a hard time to exist. Once you get a little bit older, it's easier to laugh at yourself and it's easier
Mm-hmm.
to be like, wow, that was wild. I guess I maybe screwed that up.
Yeah.
Oh, well. But like, that's a particularly hard age to have
Yeah.
that happen. And of course, when you're a teacher who's in charge of everything and you're trying to put all this together, and
Right.
this particular teacher already had to jump into the pit last minute due to
Yeah.
some unforeseen circumstance that will, I'm sure, be a later episode.
And then
Um,
jump out of the pit.
And then jump out of the pit and onto the
I
stage.
love that ingenuity.
Yeah.
Like,
mhm.
what can we do to fix this?
Exactly.
Let's make it more like it was during rehearsals and make it more acoustic, honestly.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's a good option. If the tech isn't working, let's just like
Do what we
do it
have to
without.
do to make it so that,
Yeah.
to make it so that the kids aren't panicking.
That's just a smart idea. I love that there was
Yeah.
a piano available,
Mm-hmm.
and that was possible for them.
Yeah, for sure. The show must go on, as they say.
The show must go on. Oh, I didn't talk about Moulin Rouge.
Oh, yeah, that's another good one.
That's a musical that is sort of in itself a megamix.
Yeah.
So I didn't count it, but that's
Yeah.
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Well, it's a jukebox musical from several different artists, just like
Yeah.
the same way that the SpongeBob musical
Yeah,
is,
but
kind of.
most
But that
of
one's
the
different,
songs-
yeah. Because
most of the Broadway songs are mashups of
Yeah,
different songs.
that's true. And the SpongeBob musical, it's not the same because SpongeBob, all the music is original music, but just by different artists.
Yes.
And this in Moulin Rouge, it's other existing songs by all different artists, but then also they're retooled and remixed in
Yeah, right.
to different ways. But
Mhm.
yeah,
5 minutes.
thank you, Five.
Okay, Elle. You have just completed performing a megamix about yourself,
Okay.
aura, your vibe,
My whole vibe.
a one-woman show. Well, maybe maybe a whole ensemble show
Okay,
based on you,
based
based
all
on
on
your
me.
vibe,
Okay,
your whole
cool.
thing.
Cool.
I need you to come up with a megamix that ends the show. The audience is on their feet, standing ovation.
Okay.
Already
Get them
hooting and
pumped. Get them
hollering.
dancing.
And
Is
then
this songs that already exist?
Yeah,
that I have
I'm
to
gonna need
jukebox musical style it?
songs that already exist
Oh
that
my
may or may not
gosh.
have been in the musical, but specifically they need to mean a lot to you.
Various artists. I'm
Various
assuming.
artists. So the
Okay.
first one, the piano comes in. It's soft. It's poignant. We're gonna start with a ballad, something slow and meaningful that sets us up for like a new shift in tone.
First thing that comes to mind is Hotel California. It's a little mysterious. Just like
Yeah.
it's the mystery of it, It's
It's
like a
very
little
mysterious.
dark. And it's like it starts real simple. It's just a little guitar, but also so people are going to hear that song and they're going to go, "Ah!"
Yeah,
'Cause, yeah,
They're
that's
gonna
great.
They're gonna go wild.
Yeah, they're going to go out.
You're
They're going
so
to love
right.
that.
Okay, so
Okay.
the one of the characters sings the first few lines of Hotel California,
Cool.
and for the second few lines, somebody else comes in with another song that kind of weaves in as a counter melody. So something in the same vibe, but maybe unexpected. I want another ballad that will happen at the same time as this ballad is going on.
And it has to vibe with it.
Yeah, generally.
I mean, I feel like my megamix has to end with Smooth by Carlos Santana.
Okay.
But that does kind of
does-
vibe with that. That does kind of vibe with,
Oh.
you know what I mean?
Okay, I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take it. I'll allow it. I
Mhm.
was going to say a 5-song medley, but this can be a 4-song medley with
Okay.
just like a few licks of smooth coming in.
So we've got
over
it's,
the
it's,
top
it's
of Hotel
Hotel, yeah, it's
California.
Hotel California, and there's like the occasional little like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
Mhm.
Perfect. Okay. And then the beat drops and we go into like a peppy, catchy tune, just like complete break. And then here we are. in a new song, it's got to be bright and happy and fun.
I was gonna say it's gonna be Lady Gaga "Bad Romance," but it's
Cool.
not really like happy, but like
Oh, yeah, it does-
I mean,
yeah, it
it's
doesn't
a
have to be
dance. It's a
happy.
dance.
Just
it's a dance
peppy.
vibe. Yeah,
Full of energy.
yeah,
Perfect.
it's a dance vibe.
Perfect.
Mhm.
And then once we get into like a nice musical break of Bad Romance, the melody's gonna cut out, and we're gonna have like a slow song that goes over top of the fun Bad Romance beat.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. We're actually gonna definitely get some like. It's gonna be. It's not gonna be a slow song. It's gonna be epic. We're gonna get some, like I think, Carmina Burana. We're gonna get like.
Yes.
It's gonna get a little like classical up in here.
Yes,
but
not
like in an
necessarily
epic
slow,
way.
but like
Not.
heavy.
It's gonna get heavy. It's
weighty.
gonna be like a heavy like a Carmina Burana vibe on top of yeah. Yeah, with the beats.
I
of
love it. I
better-
can hear it. It's
Yeah,
perfect.
yeah,
That's really good.
Yeah.
And then I had at the end one banger to bring it all home.
It's gonna end with "Smooth" by Carlos
It's
Santana.
gonna be ending with "Smooth" by Carlos Santana.
Yeah, that's my song, always and forever. It's my jam. Anytime that song comes on, I stop what I'm doing and I'm like, hold up,
Hold up.
hold
Gotta
up.
dance.
I love that song so much.
Love that.
Yep.
And that's the end of the musical. That's why they call it the blues.
Yeah, it's great. All right. I mean,
I kind of like that.
thematically, no, I don't think it really works, but this is my megamix that's
Yeah.
only purely for me. So, all right,
Just
fine. We're
for
going to roll
you.
with it.
That's good.
Well, that is it for today. After we created that little masterpiece,
Masterpieces.
if you want to call it a masterpiece,
Don't call it a masterpiece yet until you hear it.
I mean-
when you hear it, you're gonna say it's the best thing that's ever been written.
we'll see. I mean, it's a pastiche, so
It's a pasty.
yeah.
It's a
Well-
delightful little pasty.
More hot pies.
The pasticcios may not have included human flesh.
Yeah, probably not. I don't think so. Well, that is our show for today. Thank you so much for listening. And if you're watching, thanks for watching. Thanks for
Hello.
joining us here in the green room. And we will be back, as always, every Thursday with new content for you. So if you like what you hear, go ahead and give us a good rating on all those podcast apps that you use. Follow us on social media. We promise we will eventually start posting a bit more.
Maybe.
We're going to think about it, certainly. And tell your friends about us. That's the big thing to do if you like it. And if you don't like what you hear, tell your enemies about us. And we'll bake them into a nice, hearty little meat pie, I think. Why not?
Why not?
Our piano accompaniment was provided by Paul Thelen, and our stage manager is Daniel Schneider. Again, thank you so much for listening, and whatever it is you're up to, be it on stage, off stage, or in your life, break a leg. Amazing Technicolor Shitshow.